I was completely wrong, guys. These things must have... Is the GShock King GX-56 worth the hype? I've been wearing this beast for 7 days straight as part of my ongoing Watch of the Week review series to see if it's a true king or a royal flop. Plus, I made a surprising discovery about this watch that might just change your mind about it, so stick around to the end. Let's get into the pros and the cons about the GShock King, starting with the pros. Here are the things I liked about the GX-56. So yeah, I'm a big fan of tough solar. One of my favorite features. You can see the solar panel there, see, sort of around the edges there. And I also quite like this little 3D indented pattern around the corners there, really unique. So guys, I would have loved it if I could have tested the tough solar feature more over the week that I was wearing this watch, but to be honest, I didn't spend a whole lot of time outside since I broke my toe. I made a post, some of you may know. It's kind of an embarrassing story, like I literally just kicked it into the corner of a chair and now it's busted. And as you can see, quite embarrassing, but I'm now having to wear my wife's pink slippers to protect it. So there you go. But yeah, I did get out at least a couple of times into the sun, but I didn't notice the charge, which, by the way, this is another good feature. See, you've got LMH there, so you can actually know where it is in terms of its charge. Some of the other watches I've reviewed, such as the B5600, which we modded into the Mr. G. My God, is this a dope looking watch. You can check that build out here. But yeah, look, this is solar, guys, and there ain't no indication. You actually have to Bluetooth this into the app to know how much solar charge it's got. So it is quite a pleasant surprise to see that there. I didn't see it go from M to H. We weren't out in the sun for that long, but always a great feature to see. Next up, guys, it is the backlight, which I really liked for the King. So there's two things that I discovered since my unboxing video about the backlight, and if you missed that unboxing, you can check it out here. So the first of which is that, yes, you can indeed change the duration from the 1 second to 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, as you can see, but you do need to go into the settings as if you're changing the time to do that. Second cool thing, guys, I discovered about the backlight is, check it out, auto illuminescent backlight. As you can see, just by raising my wrist without needing to press the button, it turns it on. So that is really an awesome feature, and it really did come in handy because as you'll see in the cons, sometimes you really don't want to be pressing these buttons. Next up, guys, it's power saving mode, and that is to conserve your precious solar power that you've been farming so you can turn the backlight on as much as you like. Again, in the settings, while you're adjusting the time, you can turn it on and you'll see the little PS there under the date, stands for power saving. And what that means, guys, is that overnight the power, the LCD of your watch will shut down, and so it's completely saving power there, and only in the morning when it senses that you've gotten up and it senses the light will it turn back on. So a really handy feature to have. And lastly, guys, it is the comfort. Despite the hefty size of this monstrous GShock King, this thing really is a delight to have on the wrist. You do notice it in terms of weight, but in terms of actual size and comfort, really doesn't get in the way, so I'm really happy with that. By the way, guys, you may notice I've got a bit of what would you say, a rash or scarring just here. Believe it or not, this is actually from an upcoming video that I have recorded, so make sure you're a subscriber to see that one. This is the dedication for you guys. Bubble is here to remind you to ram that like button, aren't you, Bubble? And let me tell you something, guys, I don't know if you noticed or not, but Bubble has put on a little bit of weight over the last week I've been wearing this watch, because since I broke my toe, we haven't really been going for walkies. Show them your belly, Bubble. Look at how big this belly is, so we have to help her lose some weight. We'll start by feeding her a treat. Surely that'll help, right, guys? Good girl. Now it's time to get into the cons. These are the things that I don't like about the GShock King. But if you're already too impressed and you'd like to get your hands on a King, scan the QR code just here or head to genie.us/kings, link down below in the description. First up, guys, negative display. Very, very hard to read. Look, even when you're up close at certain angles, like look at that. Look at how... And guys, keep in mind, I've got multiple studio lights on right now. Ready? That's one, that's two, then this one here. Like, in low light conditions, such as when you just wake up in the morning, this thing really is a pain to read. because of this negative display. Auto electroluminescent backlight makes it a bit better though. Secondly, guys, it is this glass display and how absolutely easily it gets dirty and greasy. Now, I've already given it a fresh wipe down, so it's looking pristine, but I swear to God, guys, every single morning when I'd wake up, this thing was absolutely grimy. Now, I own plenty of G-Shocks, guys, and this has not been a problem with any of the others, except the only other one that comes to mind where this has happened is the GBD200. This is also one that just somehow gets greasy very quickly. And you can check out the full review for this one just here if you missed it. But I'm hoping some of you fellow King owners can chime in. Does this happen to you? Does your lens get greasy very quickly? Let me know below. Next up, guys, it is the 4 pushers. And in the unboxing, I said I thought they'd be luxuriously easy to press because they're so big. I was completely wrong, guys. These things must have a massive spring inside because they are so difficult to press. You really have to strain, especially when it's the backlight and you'd be kind of tired in the morning or at night. You go to press it, you're like, man, that is quite difficult. Now, at least they are all not recessed. Unlike the DW6900, one of my complaints in the review I did for this one, which you can check out here, is that, look, see, all of the buttons are nicely coming out, but the adjust button is recessed, and that's an even bigger pain in the ass to press. So at least it's not that bad, and they're all consistent, but I'm telling you guys, these springs are very powerful. Next up, guys, probably one of my biggest complaints with the King is the alarm. That's right, it is time for the Sleepy Goat alarm test. It failed, okay? This watch just is not loud enough to wake you up in the morning. I'll bring it down and I'll give you a little bit of a test. All right, ready? Now, I don't know how that's going to come across on camera, but I'm telling you guys, I constantly slept through this thing, okay? In the 7 days that I had an alarm go off, I think it only woke me up 2 times. It really is a lot quieter than you would expect. So I think the reason for that, guys, remember in the unboxing, I told you that this thing has 2 layers of lens, all right? So double insulation there. And then also it's allegedly got this alpha gel stuff in it to be like super shock resistant. I honestly reckon, guys, that is absolutely muffling this alarm. Look, even the case back, I just thought of this then. See how the case back has got this like plastic shroud holding it down? You got to remember, guys, the way that an alarm works on a Casio or a G-Shock is that there's a little spring connected and the case back actually vibrates, right? So by having that shroud, it's obviously muffling it and it really does impact your ability to hear the alarm. And my final complaint with the King, guys, is to do with the countdown timer, as you can see. Now, some of the more astute of you may be able to point out immediately what the issue is with this, but I have one thing to show you first, and that's that when we go to set the time, all right, we can only set minutes, okay? We can't set seconds. Now, I know a lot of G-Shocks can't do this, but come on, it would be so handy to set, you know, like a 30-second timer or, you know, 15-second timer, but being limited to minutes is very restrictive. I took this to a games night, needed a 30-second timer, couldn't do it. A little bit disappointing. Funnily enough, one of my friends, he was wearing a smartwatch. It wasn't an Apple Watch, but he's, you know, all like, oh yeah, I can do a 30-second timer, starts it. And then after a while, we're like, hang on, this has been a long-ass 30 seconds. Why hasn't his alarm go off? We look, it has, it's finished, but it didn't play a sound. So, bit embarrassing fail there for the smartwatch. Anyway, I'd love to see seconds be timeable. Second reason the countdown time is a fail on this watch, guys. Who guessed it? Look, it's the top. It also tells you that it's 5 minutes. We don't need to know that. If I start my 5-minute timer, all right, I don't need that digits wasted. Much better use of it would be to tell me the current time, just like has been done in one of my all-time favorite G-Shocks, the GD350, which you can check out my full review here. If we go into the countdown timer, check it out, 5-minute timer, all right, while that's going on, look, boom, 4:29. I can still see the current time while it's going. So that would be a much better way to implement it for the King. But guys, that was just one example of a potential improvement for the King. So let's quickly breeze through 3 more issues that might be there potentially and my thoughts on how they may be improved. Starting off is the negative LCD. So I reckon that obviously Casio should just make more versions with a positive display. We all know they are much easier to read. Look at the beauty on this 5610 series, an absolute legible beauty, okay? Full review and mod for this one can be viewed just here. So there are a few colorways that do have positive display for the King, but they're few and far between, guys. Most of them are negative. I think there's only like 1 or 2 that are positive. So one potential solution is you could actually mod this. Like you could get this exact version, the GX-56 BB, the all black one, and you could do a flip to turn it to positive, just like this one. And actually, I do have a video on the way that literally tells you how to do this. So make sure you're a subscriber so you don't miss that one. My second feedback or improvement for Casio with the GShock King series is to do with the alarm. As I mentioned, it is simply too quiet with all of this extra shock, alpha gel and shrouded back. Okay, I don't really think there's an easy solution to make that more audible, but I do have a suggestion that I think would be fantastic for a watch of this size. It is a vibration alarm. Let's face it, this hefty beast has enough internal room that they could easily put a vibration motor inside. You know how I know? It's because my GD350, which we measured in the unboxing video, is basically the exact same size, and this bad boy has a vibe alarm. See, check it out. I can't tell you how handy this is, guys. You can have a completely private alarm that rumbles on your wrist. It always wakes you up in the morning because it's so unusual. And you could have this alarm go off at work or whatever and not disturb anyone. So I would love to see that added to the GShock King. And finally, guys, it's the elephant in the room, the size. Now, I'm going to go against the grain here and be completely honest with you, okay? I know a lot of you guys were telling me like, oh man, this watch looks so big on my 6.5-inch wrist, okay? But to be honest, guys, it's the King. This thing is meant to command a presence, okay? That's what it looks like on my 6.5-inch wrist. Yes, it's big. Yes, it's bold, but that's what it's there for. Literally, even the largest wrists I have ever seen wearing this watch, it always looks big. So Casio, I don't think you need to change that. I don't think you need to try and shrink it to please people. This thing is great just the way it is. Now, I did actually let my wife take this for a spin to take Bubble for a walk, and you may have seen the wrist check I posted. It looked absolutely biblically large on her wrist. We literally had to have it all the way down to the absolute last buckle notch. And man, I can't even remember my wife's wrist size, but look, it had this much tail overhang. And yes, it looked absolutely ridiculous. But guess what? I asked her what her feedback was. She told me that she loved wearing it and that it was incredibly comfy. So there you go. Good job on the size of the King. Alrighty, now it's time to go through the one surprising discovery that I made about this watch that I might need your help to figure out what it means. But just before we do, guys, for anyone who would like to get your hands on a King, a reminder to scan the QR code here or visit genie.us/kings, linked in the description below. So, what was the discovery? Well, it all happened one morning when I had all of the lights off and I pressed the backlight button. Now, let's see if we can recreate it here. Okay, now this is a bad thing about the backlight. You see, at a certain angle, it basically becomes all of the digits light up, okay? Now, I'm not going to be able to show you in the dark, unfortunately, because of the angles and the way this display is. So let's get the lights back on. Okay, so it kind of, the best way to do it, let's see if we can do an LCD test. I remember it's 3 buttons. Man, it's going to be... Can you... Oh, thank God. There we go. That was a pain with these 3 buttons. Now, all of the LCD segments should be lit up right now. Hey, is there like a dead pixel line there? I don't know. Anyway, where is it? Where is it on the display? I can see charge, power saver, daylight savings time, auto electroluminescent. Guys, you know what? I'm sorry. I think I made a mistake. Can I be honest with you? I honestly had written down in my notes that I saw the symbol RCVD, which stands for received. Let me see. All right, here's my 5610. I want to show you just for the record what that looks like. Come on. Man, even these buttons are bloody hard to press. Okay. Where is it? No. This one... Wait. ROM file, what the hell? Oh, man. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. I'm sure. Oh, hang on. Yes, the Mr. G has it. I'm sure of it. There it is. Hang on. Okay, see? You see that flashing? It's kind of obscured by the shadow, but it says RCVD right there, guys. Okay? What that means is that the watch has connected to either multi-band 6 tower or to Bluetooth and now has the correct atomic time. You know that once that symbol is staying on, which it now is, which means this is just Bluetooth to my phone while I'm recording and now has perfectly atomic time, which is a really cool feature. I swear to God, guys, I wrote down in my notes that symbol was on this display. So let's press a button and see 3179. That must be the module number. Surely, where... Okay, at least we know that line of pixels. Oh, it is! There it is, guys. Look, it is. I knew it. Hang on. Oh, man, this lighting. Curse the... You know what? We're going to go upside down so you can see. I swear. You see there? Just below the date window, guys. It says RCVD. So, what is that? Does that mean that this watch has Bluetooth? I don't think so. I went through the settings. I didn't see anything. Does this watch have multi-band 6? It doesn't say so on the lens. So let me know, is that RCVD an actual feature of this watch? Or is this just a left-behind remnant from another module? Please, if you're a King owner, do let me know in the comments below. And for the rest of you non-owners of GShock Kings, be honest. What do you think about the commanding size and presence of the GShock King? Is it too big or is it badass? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. Huge thank you to Greg for lending me the GShock King. I'm so pleased that you did so, and I'll have it back to you as soon as possible, my friend. Also, a massive thank you to our Goat Crew channel members for supporting the channel, you absolute legends. Here's a link if you'd like to join us. Here's a link to my Watch of the Week playlist where we do unboxings and reviews of watches over 1 week, just like this one. And here's another great video for you to watch next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next review. Oh, Bubble, you look like a little Ewok with your little hoodie on, don't you? Yes. Oh.